Hello all of you wonderful City Ramble people, welcome back to the channel. Obviously the vibes took a little bit of a dent over the weekend, a bit of a disappointing result against Newcastle. We've had plenty of reaction on the City Ramble YouTube channel for you to go back and get involved with. Tell us what you thought of the game. Did you feel like it was as bad as the result kind of fell? I don't know. But obviously, time moves quickly. We've got Bayer Leverkusen on Tuesday. That'll be a real good opportunity, I feel like, to get back to winning ways. It's come around quickly, and I don't think City needed to sort of dwell on this result because personally, I didn't feel like the Newcastle result or the result was bad, but I didn't feel like the Newcastle performance was that, there were still moments of promise, creating plenty of chances. But today, we're here to speak about a little bit of transfer news, a little bit of a transfer talk starting up, and obviously we've got the January window coming in a few weeks' time. But this one's about the summer, because in case you've missed it, there's news coming out of Spain that Vini Jr has informed Real Madrid that he does not want to renew his contract with the Spanish Giants. His relationship with Xabi Alonso, the Real Madrid coach, is damaged. So naturally, obviously, it has caused plenty of transfer speculation. Who's going to be the team that can come in and swoop and take him away? He's contracted at Real Madrid until 2027. So this would be, the summer transfer window at the end of the season. Probably the last, well, it would probably, apart from January, but it would be the last real time Real Madrid get to cash in on Vini Jr. Now, City have been mentioned already in previous reports about maybe there'd be a potential suitor. Obviously, they've got the money, they've got the prestige, they're playing in the Champions League every single season. But here's why, in my opinion, and I know plenty of other City fans have said the same thing as well, City should not be touching Vini Jr with a barge pole. And that sounds crazy because, you look at his numbers, he is objectively one of the best players, one of the best wingers in world football. But there's something that just doesn't move me, and I know lots of other City fans, people who come on the channel and speak, on podcasts and also Instagram comments. Why would City go out and do this? I think, let's get the elephant out of the room to begin with. The Ballon d'Or situation with Rodri, I think, has really soured a lot of City fans' opinions on him because it was desperate, it was pathetic, but it wasn't like Vini Jr had just put up a Lionel Messi in 2013 campaign, for example. He had a decent campaign. Obviously, Real Madrid won the Champions League, but the way they were moving was just, astonishingly cringe more than anything. And to do that and to have that sort of entitlement was just a red flag, I think, immediately for a lot of people, including myself. And, speaking about, I'm going to do it 10 times harder, disrespecting Rodri, who would most likely be a future teammate. It was just stinky. And that sort of mentality of a footballer, I don't think succeeds either under Pep or if, for example, whatever happens, maybe Guardiola's left the club by the time that this would be happening. Who knows? But I don't think whoever takes over from Pep Guardiola would accept it. Real Madrid fans maybe aren't too happy with Xabi Alonso's tactics so far this season, even though some of the results have been pretty good. I think one thing he has done that Ancelotti maybe didn't, or maybe let slide a little bit, Xabi Alonso's gone into Real Madrid and he said, look, I'm in charge now. Egos, personalities, it doesn't matter. What happens on the pitch, you perform. If you don't perform, you're coming out of the team. Or if I make a decision, that I'm the one in charge. And Vini Jr reportedly has been left really unhappy with sort of his minutes and even his contract situation. There was talk that he's even asked Real Madrid to give him the biggest contract in club history, similar to Cristiano Ronaldo. Who does that guy think he is, man? Who does the guy think he is? Because he ain't Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid level. Not even close. So there's just, for me, something about it. And I know to be a professional footballer, you need that that ego. You do need that arrogance, but there's just something that I just don't feel like he'd fit in at all. The other side of the coin here is the fact that he is, his well, I was going to say his strongest position. Basically, his only position on the football pitch is left wing. And if you've been looking at the performances of Jeremy Doku over the last couple of weeks, why would you take him out of the team? Now, look, if you're asking me in general, over the last couple of years, who do I think is the better footballer, Vini Jr or Doku? I'm obviously going to say Vini Jr because he's got the pedigree. He's done it in the Champions League. He's done it in Champions League finals. His numbers, especially from a goal-scoring point of view, are really good. But I think when you're looking at the way City have set up and the way that Doku's coming into his own, and he's really... I feel like Jeremy Doku's really mature in his performances. We're seeing him play inside a little bit more. His decision making's getting much better. I don't feel like bringing in another left winger would necessarily solve that. Instead, I look at the right hand side and I think if you're going to be spending over 120 million quid, he's currently valued at 150 million euros on transfer market, which is roughly around, I think it's about 135 million pound. In a year's time or 6 months' time, or whenever it would be that this transfer might happen, you're probably looking at between 125 to 150 million pound. If you have got that money to spend on a world-class winger, I think you'd try everything in your power to go out and get Michael Olise, because not only is he a footballer that I think really suits the ethos and the mentality of the football club, I think he's so much better suited from a playing point of view. He is certainly adept at playing on the right-hand side. He's had great success there. He's a goals and an assist merchant. His output, granted, it is in the Bundesliga, but we even saw it when he was at Crystal Palace in the Premier League, just how accomplished he was at chipping in with goals and an assist. Vini Jr., I mean, there isn't... I think if you offered him to City for 50 million quid, maybe... 60 million, possibly, but I think anything over that, you're getting into realms of no. It wouldn't be a deal that I think City should be looking at all. So that I'm sure as the contract situation and the issues with Real Madrid continue, City will get mentioned. Whether or not that interest is authentic and genuine, who knows? Maybe. I'm sure the club will have him on lists and, they'll be scouting him and whatnot because that's what they do for a lot of players. How far they take that interest, I don't know. But Vini Jr. to Manchester City, for me, if I was in charge of transfers, wipe it off. Get it off the whiteboard straight away. Don't even think about it. It just doesn't work. We did ask Instagram followers, not just Instagram in general. That would be a bit daft, wouldn't it? If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Trying to grow the channel as much as possible. So we've asked Instagram followers, what do you think of this? Ajnika says, goes without saying. Ajnika, I don't know what that is in response to. Maybe you do want him, maybe you don't need him. Mr. French says, no, we need a right back. Carl says Semenyo would be better. I mean, yeah, of course, for me, number one choice would be Olise. If you can't get Olise, Semenyo is certainly in the conversation. And even though he does play a little bit more on the left-hand side for Bournemouth lately, I think possibly looking at his stats, he might have played more games at right wing across his entire career. Tabiso says, comment section is cruel. I only see no. That is true. Sfarlight _15 says, not a chance. Liam says, no, he's shocking. A little bit harsh, Liam. It's a little bit harsh. I wouldn't say he's shocking. Woodsy says, absolutely not. Can't stand him. And I think it does, for me, come down to that sort of personality side. And look, we don't know what he's like in the dressing room. We're only getting leaks from Real Madrid, and we know that the Real Madrid media circus can be brutal and vicious at times. But there's just something that it ain't there. It ain't there. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you want to come and speak on Discord, you can get involved in the conversation. The link to that is in the description. While you're down there, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, I should say, not the follow button. You can follow us on social media, though. All of the names have been going along the bottom of the screen whilst you've been watching. Vini Jr. to Manchester City. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Let us know. Until next time, it has been a pleasure. We will see you later.